And it is with a deep sense of humility and a profound sense of responsibility that the first thing that I do tonight is to say thank you to the people of Australia for the chance to continue to serve the best nation on earth. Today, the Australian people have voted for Australian values, for fairness, aspiration and opportunity for all, for the strength to show courage in adversity and kindness to those in need. In this time of global uncertainty, Australians have chosen optimism and determination. Australians have chosen to face global challenges the Australian way, looking after each other while building for the future.
Let's be real. Doing laundry kind of sucks, but you know it doesn't? Smelling amazing. That's why I'm obsessed with Laundry Sauce, the world's best smelling laundry pods. No more clothes that smell stale and gross. Now I step out in Australian sandalwood. Let me tell you, people notice. Compliments on my laundry? Never thought that would happen. And it's not just about the scent. These pods are 4 times concentrated with serious cleaning power. They tackle stains, revive fabrics, and leave everything smelling like a high-end cologne. Oh, and if you're into fresh, clean vibes, their new Oregon Mint scent is a game changer. I literally just started a load of wash right before I recorded this with that one. It's so convenient and such high quality. What else can you ask for? Well, actually, how about this? If you put your new luxury laundry obsession on autopilot, you save an extra 15 to 20% off every order when you subscribe. And you could start right now with your first one, because right now you get 20% off your entire order at laundrysauce.com with code MIDAS20. That's laundrysauce.com, code MIDAS20. MEIDAS20. And after you order, tell them we sent you. Smell good, look good, feel good with Laundry Sauce.
Yeah, it's just stunning again, right? Because if you take a look at the polling in Canada, where the Conservative Party was leading in Canada a few months back, and then all of a sudden the Liberal Party in Canada, led by Prime Minister Mark Carney, shot up. Same thing we're seeing in Australia. And this is described simply as the Trump effect. Australia, Canada, we're going to see elections elsewhere soon as well. They're seeing what went down in the United States. They're seeing Trump and Musk and the wrecking ball as they've destroyed what used to be the world's strongest economy. And these other countries are saying, not now, not ever. We need to protect our democracies here. We're rejecting the Timu Trump, the Timu MAGA-styled candidates and politicians here. Bye-bye, Pierre Poilievre. Bye-bye, Peter Dutton. Although a footnote to that, and this is what a loser Pierre Poilievre is, he basically forced out another Conservative member from the Conservative members riding in Alberta, which is nowhere near where Pierre Poilievre's riding is when Pierre Poilievre lost his election. So Poilievre basically stole the seat of another Conservative member because Poilievre still wants to be in Parliament and the other member forfeited it to him. I mean, really embarrassing stuff, but that's a MAGA mentality. They just can't accept a loss right there. All right, bringing things back to domestic affairs here in the United States. This morning as well, we're hearing more about a dire situation on the ports. How long have I been talking about the ports here on the Midas Touch Network? We've been talking about freight volumes, right? We've been talking about trucking volumes here. And I think it's very important because you can track how this tariff war, trade war, disastrous Liberation Day, which is really Depression Day, Recession Day, Liquidation Day, whatever you want to call it, how it has harmed trade into the United States. Remember, we've been following the ports of Seattle, the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles. We've been following the ports in Boston. I want you to hear this morning from the head of the Port of Los Angeles, what he is seeing. Here, play this clip.
Just describe for us, let's take a beat, really frame it for us, how much volume has just dropped off in the last few weeks?
Yeah, about a third of the import volume, which means give or take about 50,000 20-foot equivalent units gone. on off the arrivals coming in next week.
From next week is when you expect to see this really hit.
That's correct. And that matches up. The announcement's back on April 2nd, then on April 8th, a little bit of a change on everybody ex-China, Mexico, Canada, and those arrivals are coming at us this weekend.
We'll, of course, dedicate time to your port, but I'm just wondering how you're anticipating this rolls and ripples through the economy from here, how it hits trucking, when this turns up on the shelf. What's the distance, the time from when you see a drop-off in volume and when we, as consumers, see the shortages?
Right. So CEOs are telling me, hit the pause button, right? I'm not going to import anymore at these kind of prices. Let's wait and see. I don't know if it's going to be 2 hours, 2 days, or 2 weeks till I get some clarity. Then hiring off the table for right now. Capital investment, pause. And the retailers are telling me that realistically, with even the 10%, I'm going to have to pass it on to the consumers.
So how much is this really coming from all over? It's not just about China. This is about really global trade coming to a standstill until there is a much greater degree of certainty and a much lower tariff rate than even the baseline that's been put out there.
Yeah, when I was last with you all, Lisa, I said global trade's going to slow, economies will follow, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Back in November, so many of us were wringing our hands about 4% inflation. We've just added 10 percentage points to imports coming out of Southeast Asia for our port, and these unbelievable numbers out of China.
How much?
Now, that's just facts. I want to bring you the facts here, and that is very dangerous. I mean, I've been describing it like this. Remember with COVID, Donald Trump said like a miracle, it's all going to go away. Don't worry. There's 7 cases, but the cases are going to disappear. It's never going to hit our shores. And then the lie started. Inject bleach. Then they blame Dr. Fauci. He's doing that again with this disastrous trade war thing that he's doing right here over and over again. I say, when is there going to be that Tom Hanks moment? Remember, Tom Hanks got COVID and everyone was like, oh crap, I guess this thing is real. There's going to be a moment. Is that 5 days? Is it 10 days? When things aren't on the shelf and then Americans are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, we've been warning you here on the Midas Touch Network. Talking about other domestic affairs, dog killer, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was making her rounds on state regime media known as Fox this morning. She was saying that Abrego Garcia's wife is lying that she wants her husband back from the concentration camp in El Salvador. This is how sick these MAGA vile pieces of trash are. I mean, how else can I describe it? Kristi Noem is saying that Abrego Garcia's wife prefers her husband to be in a concentration camp in El Salvador. He has no criminal history. He's got 3 kids, 3 American kids. She's an American woman living in Maryland. Abrego Garcia worked for a union. He had a work permit given to him by the Trump administration in 2019. And here, Kristi Noem says that, well, she goes, I think Abrego Garcia's wife is an abuse victim. And I know victims. And as a victim, she says she wants her husband back, but she doesn't want her husband back. She's better off with him in the concentration camp. You think she didn't say that? Well, you're like, I'm sure Kristi Noem says that. I mean, these are vile people. Here's what Kristi Noem said. Let's play the clip.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm concerned about. What she's saying today is she still scared? Many people and victims I've worked with over the years, you know, they say one thing in public because they have to survive or to protect their children. So I wouldn't say that, you know, what she's saying today is how she really feels. I think she...
Now, I want to show you this as well, because you remember, was it last week where Donald Trump was lying and saying that Warren Buffett, this is what Trump posted, remember? Trump wrote, Warren Buffett supports or help Donald Trump come up with the plan to tank the markets in order to rebuild better, to cause pain and suffering and destroy people's lives. Donald Trump actually made a video like this and said Warren Buffett endorsed this plan. Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, 2 weeks ago, had to come out with a statement and said, we don't know what this is. We don't endorse this plan. We don't like it. Warren Buffett was speaking though earlier, and Warren Buffett said, trade should not be used as a weapon. Okay. The Oracle of Omaha right here is making it very clear. What the hell are we doing? So maybe you don't want to listen to me. Maybe you don't want to listen to the head of the port of Long Beach or Los Angeles. You want to listen to Warren Buffett? I could give you more data points here this morning as well. Play this clip.
No question that trade can be an act of war. And And I think it's led to bad things.